Scooby-Doo, The Lighthouse Mystery. The sun was shining. A gentle breeze was blowing. Scooby-Doo and the gang were on their way to visit Fred's Aunt Lucy, a lighthouse keeper, and her family on Bell Bottom Island. While everyone was enjoying the boat ride, Shaggy and Scooby clutched their stomachs. "Like maybe we should have skipped that less pepperoni pizza, Scooby," Shaggy said. "This boat's going up and down like a row-row," said Scooby. "Guys," Daphne giggled, "this is the smoothest ride ever. Look at Captain Rodney's puppies." 2 dogs slept peacefully behind the captain's chair. "This boat ride is great," agreed Fred. "I can't wait to spend the night at a real lighthouse." Velma nodded. "There aren't many like this left. Most lighthouses don't have keepers anymore. Everything is automated." "Until I retired last year, I was the lighthouse keeper," Captain Rodney said. "I didn't know it was the best job in the world." A shadow passed over his face. "Now other people live on the island, and I'm stuck driving back and forth and back and forth." Every time Captain Rodney said back and forth, he pressed the gas pedal. Shaggy and Scooby turned green. Just then, the skies darkened. A cold, sharp wind blew, and waves slapped the boat. "Will this ever end?" moaned Shaggy. "Yes," said Fred, pointing as they rounded a bend. The lighthouse loomed ahead, dark and forbidding. Its beacon turned slowly, casting an eerie light. "Zoinks," said Shaggy as they docked. "Maybe we should stay on the boat." "Maybe you should," Uncle Lou agreed. He stepped closer with Aunt Lucy and their kids, Luke and Lisa. "The lighthouse warns ships of danger, but there's plenty of danger right here. If I were you, I'd turn around." "Captain Rodney!" Shaggy and Scooby called. They raced to the end of the dock, tripping over the fishnets and getting all tangled up, but the captain had already pulled away. They were stuck on the island. Aunt Lucy hurried over to untangle the friends. "Don't pay any attention to Uncle Lou," she told them. "There isn't any danger." She paused. "But things have been a little strange here. The lights have been going off and on, and some firefighting equipment has gone missing." "And what about the spooky moans?" put in Lisa. "And don't forget the rats," added Luke. Aunt Lucy shuddered. "Yuck, I hate rats. All of a sudden, they're all over the island. But it's really nothing. The island is a great place to live." She pointed out the living quarters, the widow's walk, the upper deck circling the tower, and the old cannon that hadn't been used in decades. Inside the lighthouse, Aunt Lucy led the gang up a spiral staircase to the watch room. "This is where I keep information about weather," Aunt Lucy explained, "and write notes about ships and visitors in logs." Toys and empty milk boxes littered the floor. "It's also our playroom," Uncle Lou said, frowning, "and my workroom. The kids and I don't have anywhere else to go." Suddenly, thunder boomed and the lights flickered off. Uncle Lou handed out flashlights. "Nothing to worry about," said Aunt Lucy. "Since you're visiting, I'll enter all your names into the log. F-R-E-D, Fred," she wrote. Suddenly, she dropped the pen. Thin, spidery handwriting was slowly appearing on the page, letter by letter. L-E-A-V-E, leave, Velma read. W-H-I-L-E, while, Y-O-U-U-C-A-N, can. Shaggy ran his finger down the visitors list and gasped. "What? There's never been a pizza delivery?" "Good thing we're here," said Velma. "We'll solve the mystery." "And order pizza?" Shaggy put in hopefully. "Here's the plan," Fred said. "We'll split up and search the island for clues. Shaggy and Scooby, you start inside, and the rest of us search outside." Shaggy and Scooby checked the kitchen. Shaggy opened the refrigerator. Scooby peered in the cupboards. They opened every can and box to make sure there weren't any clues. By the time they were done, all the food was gone. "That's okay," said Aunt Lucy, coming in. "I keep emergency sandwiches in the lantern room." "Let's go," said Shaggy. In the lantern room, the light spun slowly. Like a mirror, the windows reflected Shaggy and Scooby, and a creature slinking behind them. He was big and green, with glowing eyes. A zombie. "I am the creeper," he snarled. "Come on!" Shaggy shouted to Scooby. They turned and ran down the twisty staircase. Halfway down, they stopped short. Two small zombies stood on a landing, moaning loudly. Meanwhile, the creeper was lurching down the steps toward them. "Leave this island," he growled. "Scoob!" shouted Shaggy. "We're surrounded!" There was nowhere to go but outside. Shaggy and Scooby backed out onto the Widow's Walk. They edged toward the very end of the deck. Suddenly, a trap door opened beneath them. Down they dropped, onto a soft, mossy hill. "Run!" Shaggy told the others. "Zombies are after us!" "Let's split up," said Fred. "They can't follow everyone." Scooby and Shaggy ran down the hill. The creeper ran after them. "Run, Raggy!" Scooby panted. The creeper was closing in on Shaggy and Scooby. There had to be a place to hide. Up ahead, they spied a cave. "In here, Scoob!" Shaggy pulled Scooby into the opening. Inside, an eerie light lit the cavern. They pressed against a wall. Shaggy kicked something hard and jumped. But it was only a box, addressed to Uncle Lou. "I'll get you," cried the creeper, running past the entrance. Shaggy and Scooby sighed with relief until they felt something furry scurrying over their feet. Animals with big teeth and long tails. "Rats!" cried Scooby. "Like I hope you mean cats," Shaggy said. "Nope, rats," Scooby repeated while he and Shaggy raced outside. The creeper was running in the opposite direction. "Quick, back inside the lighthouse," called Shaggy. By the light of the moon, spooky shapes loomed in the hall. Scooby clutched Shaggy. "Roll!" "Skull?" repeated Shaggy. "No, Scoob, it's just a switch. Probably for a light." Shaggy pressed the shape. Whirr. The switch released an axe. The axe swung down, barely missing Shaggy's whiskers. "Hog! Let's get out of here!" Shaggy cried. Scooby and Shaggy ran outside and down to the end of the dock. "We've got to get out of here," Shaggy told Fred, Daphne, and Velma as he waved his arms in case Captain Rodney and his boat were nearby. "There are rats everywhere! I stubbed my toe on a box in a cave!" "Rats, Raggy," said Scooby. "Oh yeah, Scooby and I almost got whacked by a fire axe." "Don't worry," Fred said. "I have an idea for a trap. Shaggy and Scooby, you two keep running around the lighthouse." Shaggy peered over his shoulder. The creeper was catching up to them. "Like you don't have to tell us twice," he said. The rest of the gang disappeared inside the lighthouse. Shaggy and Scooby tried to run, but Creeper was blocking their way. "Look," said Shaggy, pointing to the two small zombies rushing closer. "Your little friends." The Creeper paused to turn around. In a flash, Shaggy and Scooby ducked under his arms. Shaggy and Scooby raced away, running under the Widow's Walk. "Ready," called Daphne. They sprinted past the trapdoor. "Aim," said Velma. Then they rushed by the cannon. "Fire!" Daphne and Velma shouted. Fred lit the fuse. Boom! The cannon shot out a net. The net dropped, catching the Creeper and his zombie sidekicks. Aunt Lucy rushed over. "You caught the Creeper? Thank goodness! I think those zombies got Lou and the kids." Velma shook her head. "Not likely," she said. Fred and Daphne pulled off the zombie masks. "They are Lou and the kids." "I don't want to live on the island anymore," Uncle Lou explained to Aunt Lucy. "So I tried to scare you into giving up your job. First, I had rats shipped to the island. Then I told Luke and Lisa to moan, and I tinkered with the electricity. When all that didn't work, I bought these costumes and set up the fire axe." He ran his finger along the edge. "I covered it with rubber." "What about the spooky note?" asked Aunt Lucy. "Uncle Lou wrote the Creeper with the kids' milk," Velma said. "It's like invisible ink. When you turned on the flashlight, the words appeared." "I can't believe you went to all that trouble to convince me to leave, especially when we have to leave anyway. The lighthouse is being automated," Aunt Lucy explained. Just then, Captain Rodney arrived. "Saw that crazy kid waving and came to see what's going on. I also heard you'll be moving soon. Maybe we can go into business together," he said to Uncle Lou. "Your family can drive the boat, and I can give tours of the island." "Sounds like a plan," said Aunt Lucy. "Like I've got another plan," Shaggy said. "Now that we have a boat, we can bring back pizza," said Scooby. Scooby-Dooby-Doo! For more Scooby-Doo stories, you can check out exciting reads from Scholastic, Penguin Random House, Capstone, and Bendon.